They guard our borders day and night, men who protect our boundaries so that you and I are safe. For the last 4 years and more, the nation's bravest of the brave, the service chiefs of the armed forces, together with ex-servicemen, have been making one demand. In fact, this demand has been on for over a decade. Parity in pay, parity in position, and prestige as a consequence with civilian forces. But despite reminder after reminder, and most importantly, as this investigation shows, even after a go-ahead from the Prime Minister's office, there has been no concrete movement. Instead, the document trail with your channel tonight reveals that earlier this month, the demand for parity of the armed forces was effectively shelved and put into deep freeze.
In an unbelievable move, the government has put the Joint Defence Services demand for parity on hold, even after the Chief of Staff went helter-skelter for 4 long years.
This is something the Prime Minister wanted, and also Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee, to examine the relationship between the military, the paramilitary, and also the civilian bureaucracy. A high-powered committee was set up, chaired by the Cabinet Secretary. But in these last 4 years, incredibly enough, not a single meeting has been held.
They are seeing that there is little benefit coming to the army. That is being taken away. It's shocking.
Your channel has a document trail that shows how the government sent the services demand to the cold storage. It was in December 2008 when the Prime Minister gave the nod for the high-powered committee to consider the parity demand. A few months later, on April 2nd, Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee wrote to the Defence Minister A.K. Antony on the formation of the committee. In the same month, the Defence Secretary Vijay Singh made the official intimation to the Cabinet Secretary on the formation of the committee. After waiting for nearly a year, the then Army Chief and the Joint Services Chief, General Deepak Kapoor, raised the issue to the Defence Minister. Meanwhile, the Defence Secretary sought a guidance from the Cabinet Secretary. But nothing happened for the next 1 year, before the then Air Chief and the Chairman of the Joint Services Committee, Air Chief Marshal P.V. Naik, sent a second reminder to the Defence Minister. A few months later, in December 2011, his successor, Admiral Nirmal Verma, sent a third reminder to the Cabinet Secretary, following it up the very next day with yet another letter to the Prime Minister's Principal Secretary, Pulak Chatterjee. The Navy Chief then waited for 2 more months before sending an incredible 4th reminder. But after keeping him waiting, the Cabinet Secretariat officially put the long-standing demand on hold, leaving the armed forces fuming.
Probably because the government has been busy fielding many other problems. Otherwise, there is, in my opinion, no progress made at all. This case was taken up initially, since the time of the Pay Commission. Constant efforts have been made, but no solution is in sight.
Clearly, this is another instance where the bureaucracy has stood in the way of a key decision that the joint services believe is affecting operations in strategic areas like Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast.
Rather strange, one does not know who actually is running the government. Certainly I can say that the political class is not. They are not in command, they are not in saddle.
So why this government gridlock? Why hasn't the government moved at all? The answer may be here. Defence Secretary Vijay Singh at that time wrote to the Cabinet Secretary asking for this committee. Now 4 years later, the Cabinet Secretariat writes back saying, well, the Defence Ministry hasn't said very much to us. And yes, is this high-powered committee really necessary? Srinjoy Chaudhary, Delhi, Times Now.